Hello everyone, and let's start some prep. So I'm taking advantage of a bit of a 30-minute break between some meetings to work on my Phandalin prep, because the last session my players went through the Goblin lair here, so I'm mostly playing on Roll20. They went through the Goblin arrows. And so today I wanted to go through Phandalin because that's where they're going to start next time. So I did some already some prep, quite a lot actually, on Phandalin. This is all I have so far, which is pretty good already. I think almost everything is ready actually. But I wanted to go through all of that, just doing a bit of a rehearsal. I like to do a little rehearsal before each session. The next one is in 5 days now, so that gave me a bit of time. But yeah, the way I did it was I used ChatGPT a lot to kind of I used ChatGPT a lot to check online, help me checking online what are the recommendations regarding this campaign first, and wait, let me show this. Yeah, I was saying that this is what I did. As I said, yeah, what are the recommendations? Which is the recommendation, and that's from that. Uh, I asked him to help me rewrite which step campaigns to include in this change. Not only this change, but also I sent to ChatGPT my player's backstory, what I would like to involve in the campaign for them, like what's going to apply for them in this campaign. And so this way, ChatGPT just had me rewrite this model to make sure to include this change, etc. So this is what we have while I have the V2 here, version 2 of the model, basically. And we start with the arrival. So for each big step, I really play along with visuals with my players. I love to bring them visuals. I know that's the way they like it too. I know some players, they prefer to imagine by themselves, but I think it's, especially for beginners, it's really helped for them to have these kind of things. Of course, it stopped me from being a bit more creative and not the best DM, I'm aware, because, well, a good DM normally should be able to bring you to this kind of place just by telling you about, telling you the story. But yeah, I think it just helped me a lot. I don't know. So here it is. I prepare with Roll20. I added a little marker. I need to change this thing because I don't like. I mean, it's useful for some games, but here the way it does it on the first tab of the marker, it brings me some random text. I don't know why only this text is here. Oh, okay. So basically, just show the first readable text, like quote of my text here, and then the rest is in this tab. I don't see the point of doing this. I'm just gonna go into edit here, and yeah, untick this. Use block quote as player flavor text. I don't need that. So right now, automatically, when I click on my marker, I have the first part, which is this one. So the way it works, I will just bring my players to this page that will play the music automatically. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the music. Okay, I'll explain later how I did for the music.
And then I'll just have to read. So the road leaves the wooden hills, and you see Phandalin ahead. I noticed something about I tend to do during gaming. So I'm so stressed during the game. I mean, not stressed, but I really want to do everything right, and so my head is a bit everywhere, and I tend to rush a bit too much. I tend to read too fast, or not taking my time. I forgot to breathe. This is something I have to remind myself. It's taking my time to breathe. So the road leaves the wooden hills, and you see Phandalin ahead. My character did rescue Sildar, so I will go with this one. Sildar looks tired but relieved. Phandalin, he says quietly. Good. We made it. It is a small frontier town with 40 or 50 simple wooden buildings. Some houses are built on old stone foundations. Around the town, you can see broken walls, covered with ivy and weeds. Looks like this place was much larger a long time ago. The main road becomes a muddy street as it enters the town. Farther east on a hill, you see the ruins of an old manor house. On the outskirts of the town, children play near the town green. Here I notice a little repetition of town. I don't like that, so I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change this. Now, I'm not, as you can hear, English is not my native language. It's not my first language, so I'm not a big writer, and that's also why I'm using a lot of ChatGPT to help me write. This is definitely something I would love to improve in the future, and I know that to improve this, you need to practice by yourself. But I have so much stuff to prepare, so ChatGPT is so cool. So on the dusk of dawn, children plays near the road. Let's go. And I think that will be better this way. Yeah. Okay, on the outskirts of the town, children play near the road. Farmers and miners walk between shops. Smoke rise from the chimneys. Here we are, and I think that's all I have in this part. This is not all I have in this part, and it looks like it doesn't bring places. No. Yeah, this is all I have. After this, I will just bring them to. Yes. Basically, I bring them to the map, which is the entering Phandalin. So, I found this map online. Very useful. Thank you for making it. Oh no, my bad. Actually, I did find a map, but I was not very happy with it, and so I used AI to, simply ask AI to kind of make again the map here in a new style. As you can see, I used inspiration of style. Yep, that's pretty good. Point. Of course, I didn't do as good as the artist. There is no doubt that the maps of the artist are way better. Deserve, if you can afford it, just buy them because they are so beautiful. I'm not sure if he made one of Phandalin, but I always loved so much his maps. And I'm kind of glad that ChatGPT or whatever AI is not able to do a map as beautiful as they do, because that would not be fair. Anyway, just saying, support artists as much as you can. Myself, I use AI because I'm fucking broke. So yeah, and I'm doing this for my plays. I'm not sharing this visual up after that. Anyway, enough of me trying to explain myself and defend myself. So here we go. They have their token here. They will be able to. Normally, they should have the access to their token, all of them, so they can move the token by themselves. If I go in the edits here, yeah, every one of them should be able. I think one of them more here is missing. Here we go. Save. So all of them will be able to move the token, and I also put some dynamic light on the token, just very basic one, just so they can have this impression of discovering the city while they walk through it. Of course, later on I will just remove the dynamic light, But basically, this is how it should look like. Here, like this. They enter the town slowly. And I will read the second part. So, same problem as before. Here I have my marker, which is separated in two. I do not want that. I want everything. Okay, so I'm just gonna disable this part here. Here we go. But as your wagon enters the street, you notice something else. People look at you quickly, then look away. Some close their doors. A woman quietly pulls her child closer. Near one building, a group of rough-looking men in dirty red cloaks laugh loudly. One of them pushes past a miner and knocks his tools into the mud. No one helps the miner. No one says anything. The men in red cloak look at your wagon for a moment. Then they smile and disappear down the street. So in the original version, I mean, there is this part where, okay, they laugh, they are laughing at you. Though I do not necessarily want my players to confront them immediately, because I know especially beginner player, they think they can do whatever they want. They don't think about consequences most of the time, so they see a bad guy and say, oh, I'm gonna kill him or whatever. I don't really like this. It's also break the story, you want to bring a bit of suspense here, and that's why I make them disappear. I added this little line here, they disappear down the streets. I don't want to bring conflict right away as soon as I enter the city. Of course, if you push for it, I'll give it to them. Some bad consequences, I think. Because I need to teach them to be prepared. That's a lesson they need to learn from what I see from last session. Anyway, Sildar says, I do not like the look of that, he says. But first we should find rooms and speak with the people here. I was told that Stonehill Inn is the best place to start. So, yeah, Sildar is going to suggest the first step to stop by. I think my players will go with this because after last session they are in very bad condition. They are almost got a TPK on just session 1 of Lost Mine after Phandelver. I don't know if it's very common. But yeah, they will have to probably take some rest, so the inn seems the best problem. But now he also noticed the town's problem. This makes him feel a useful ally, not just a quest giver. Yeah, I don't need this note actually, it's just, I try to really clean my notes as best as I can. I don't want extra text that I don't need to read that during the session. Here, we don't need this. Really, my goal is to have notes that are easy to read and very well organized. I love organizing everything correctly, so that's why I have all those little tokens. It's not necessarily a good thing, because sometimes during the game I have so many tokens and so many markers, and I kind of have to click a bit everywhere, so it's still a process to learn, But yeah, we'll see. Just checking my meeting. Hopefully no one. Okay, I see, got 15 minutes. So that's for this. Yeah, arrival in Phandalin, entering Phandalin, and we have some key location. So these are the main locations. We will have Barthon. Where is it? Here. So it's at the other end of the streets here. Barthon Provisions. They'll have to go there to bring the wagon. I'm sure they're going to do this first because one of the players is very aware of the mission and he really wants to fill this mission. So I'm pretty sure this is going to happen on next session. I will have to prepare the encounter with Barthon. So let's dive into this first. I have the file here with all okay. Oh no, I can delete this actually. I think because I created one handout for each one of them. Yes. So this file can be deleted here. And so the way I did here, because I prefer to, like I said, I like to be organized in my head, having like a huge handout, and I don't know where to go, or you have to scroll all the way down. So it's so much easier for me to have many little handouts this way. I can just click on and also create like markers this way. So let's say they want to go to Barthon Provision. I'm just going to open it directly. It's going to be easier. And also, it's not always. I don't always do this, but I create also a new page for each location, so like that I can really bring them. So for example, I created one for bath and provisions. I did this for the first session, which is Goblin's Arrow, and you see I did one like that, basically for each location in the Krogmore hideout. That was a mistake because I don't have a great laptop, and also all of them, like my players, don't have awesome laptops to play on. And the problem I encountered is I was switching to another page, to show them the visual. Let's say the visual of the canal with the wolf here. So yeah, you see already my laptop is lagging. So I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be so cool. I'm going to show them this and then go back to the map. Except the map is quite big. And so anytime I would click on the map here, that will lag, as you can see. It's lagging. So I need to wait, I need to break the game, break the flow of the game. And I'm like, damn, no, that was bad. I realized very quickly, yeah, you see, yeah, that's what happens. It's because also the problem with my method is that, as you can see, I add a lot of little markers everywhere to help me along the way. I just need to click on the little markers. Problem when you do this and when you have a lot of tokens with a lot of enemies on the map, well, the map is becoming very heavy. This is my map away from the problem hideout here. And as you can see, I have a lot of stuff happening here, a lot of tokens, a lot of little markers and everything. I have the dynamic light also right here. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff, and that's why everything takes so long to load. So I couldn't afford just every time to do this, like to show them. So a lesson I learned from that is next time I do have a map like this with different location, and I do want to show them some visual of the little different location, I'll just simply, just like I did during the session, I kind of improvised that. It was not ideal, but that's the best I could do, is basically here to create a little handout. And so for example, for the wolf den here, with just one little picture, and I just open it and I show to players, so like that the handout is displayed. They can close it anytime they want to, they can keep it open, but I think that's a better way to show visuals in this in Roll20 if you don't have great laptops, for sure. So for Phandalin though, it's another story, because as I can see, the map is not very big to load up, so it's quite fast to load, so I will not have this problem. And also we're going to spend some time on each location. It's not going to be like, oh, let me show you bath and provisions and then bring you right away back to the city map. No, we're going to spend some time there. So that's why I created really one page for each location. So again, thanks to ChatGPT and Gemini, I created some visuals. So this is what bath and provision looks like. The way I like to work for my image generations. So I do have a pro account for ChatGPT, but even with the pro account, I think ChatGPT is doing a very bad job on image generation. It always gives you this yellow tones, very ugly yellowish tone to the pictures. So though ChatGPT is very good in generating prompts and understanding what you want, etc. So the way I do is I send to ChatGPT the text for bath and provisions, and I tell him, okay, please imagine what this place looked like, and then write a prompt describing what you see. He writes a prompt, and then I take this prompt and I send it to Gemini, which I think is a very good option for image generation. Gemini is doing, I love what Gemini does. It's very accurate, it's beautiful, it's clean, and also it's very constant. You don't end up like, if you ask a fantasy illustration, you're not gonna end up with two very different things from one chat to another. You really respect everything. So I love that. I really love that. So yeah, that's the way I work. Here, this is the illustration generated by Gemini, thanks to ChatGPT's prompts. And I also do the same for my characters. So in the text, in the original text, it says that if we look at it, this large shop is full of useful goods: ropes, lantern, blankets, sack of flour, tools, and travel supplies. Two young clerks move the boxes near the back of the shop. Behind the counter stands a thin, balding man with a kind face. So, of course, we want to focus on Elmar Barthel, which is here. Hello, Elmar. But you never know. Your players could end up asking to speak to the two clerks because, hey, one of them noticed there are two clerks and they are very curious to speak with them. Of course, this is not something to do. No, this is just something I like to do. I like to always have the option, always be prepared in case my players want to speak. And like I said, I really love visuals. Not only for them, but also for me. You know, when I have a visual of a character, it's so much easier for me to role-play this character. You know, I have really aspect it. It really helps me when I have something to see. So I prepared two little illustration of the two clerks. One thing I noticed about AI and stuff like this, they always tend to do the same stereotypical D&D character. You know, always going to be a male. I hate that. Most of the time it's going to be either human or elf. They love elf. And it's going to be very good-looking people. I hate that. We are not good-looking. Most of us probably are not good looking, and especially in a world where, like, you know, it's more medieval time, etc. Well, we don't have makeup, we don't have very good hygiene and stuff like this, so it makes sense that, hey, we are not, you know, anyway. So there is something I do is when there is a prompt like this, when I ask ChatGPT to generate prompts for me, I always ask it to, okay, diversify, give me some different body shapes, give me some different skin colors, also different genders, etc. It could be called woke, I don't know, but I think it's really bring more like realism to the story if you speak to very different type of people. So as you can see, and he's not necessarily good looking, huh? Poor guy, he's only 20 years old, he looks like he's 50. So yeah, this is part of I know. Yeah. Also, one thing I found pretty useful in the prompt, I was struggling a lot to make the AI generate not ugly people, but not good-looking people. You know, not good-looking people. What I mean, sorry. And I was trying every time, like, so I was trying to say, okay, ugly or stuff like this. It was never working. So there is one word I find work most of the time is to add the word unattractive in your prompt for someone. If you say, no, please create an illustration of an unattractive 20 years old man with who is balding or stuff like this, etc. Yeah, that seems to work so far. So yeah, a little trick for you if you want. Try to use the word unattractive in your prompt. All right, so those are my characters. The way I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to need here. So this is my different Molki as one of my character. So I always bring a bit of stuff, you know. To them, let's see, what did I prepare for this? So I have this. If the party delivers the supplies. Okay, it feels a bit not really well organized because I have my character's arc before their arrival. I don't like that because normally they're gonna arrive. The way I see it coming is, oh, he's gonna welcome them, they're gonna try to deliver the wagon, they're gonna have the chat at Gundrin, and then maybe he's gonna try to interact more privately with each character. So I'm simply gonna move my character's arc here. Duck right here. Changing also to the same title type as the other, which is probably a title 3. Title 2. I'm not a big fan of Roll20's edit, like the text edit, because yeah, a lot of stuff weird. You see, I press Eder 2 and it just a very small text. I hate that. I hate that. It seems like some basic stuff to. I don't know. I'm not a developer or whatever, but yeah, I just hate that. That it doesn't change the format. See, again, I put on headers 2, but it doesn't do really shit. Not good. Please Roll20 fix these things. Thank you. Yeah. And I don't know how to change the size. Anyway, I'm not gonna stay too long on this. So they're gonna arrive. I'm gonna tell them, oh yeah, so 2 young clerks, and behind the counter, and here you see I prepared my token of Barthen. So I'm just gonna slide it here, and suddenly Barthen is gonna appear on the visual, which is it's cool, no? And here comes the interaction, and I can see that I only have 3 minutes left. My meeting is gonna start in 3 minutes, so that's gonna be the end of it today, and we're gonna resume a bit later. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.